There is a classroom nobody wanted to be in. The desks are scratched, the ceiling tiles are water-stained, the fluorescent light in the back corner flickers every 40 seconds, as if it has given up. And standing at the front of that room is someone the students mock behind their hands, someone the administration has quietly stopped inviting to meetings, someone whose name the other teachers barely remember at the end of a long Friday. This is not a story about someone who was secretly brilliant from the start. This is not the version where talent was always obvious, where the crowd eventually sees what they missed, where the applause arrives just in time. This is something harder than that. This is the story of what happens when you keep going anyway, when there is no audience, when there is no reward, when the work itself is the only thing left to stand on, and even the work feels like it is crumbling beneath your feet. You think obscurity is a temporary condition. It isn't for most people. For some, it is the permanent address, and what you do there in that quiet, unwitnessed place, that is the only thing that will ever matter. You arrive early every morning, before the janitor, before the buses, before the building has sound in it. You rearrange the chairs because something in you still believes the arrangement matters. You write the question on the board the night before and lie awake thinking about whether it is the right question. You read their papers not just for errors but for the buried sentence, the one where something real broke through the surface and they did not even notice they had written it. Nobody notices you noticing. The students come in loud and leave louder. They do not say thank you. They do not look back. Some of them are openly contemptuous, not in a dramatic, cinematic way, not in a way that makes a good story, just in the small, corrosive way that teenagers have perfected across every generation. The eye roll. They turned back. The quiet laughter is directed somewhere near you but never quite at you, so you can never call it out directly. You absorb it, you do not harden. That is the thing nobody understands about you. Most people, after enough of that, build a wall. You refuse. You stay open in a room that punishes openness. You stay curious in a building that has bureaucratized curiosity into something unrecognizable. Your colleagues think you try too hard. They say it without saying it, in the way they do not ask for your opinion in the hallway, in the way the more experienced teachers have that particular silence when you mention something you tried with a difficult student. A silence that says, you'll learn. You'll stop caring that much eventually. You do not stop. You go home and you read. You rewrite your approach to a concept that 3 students have not yet grasped. 3 students, not the whole class, 3. And you lose sleep over 3 people who have never once thought about you when they went home. Here is what makes this unbearable to witness and why most people never do what you do. The gap between your investment and their awareness is so enormous it has its own gravity. You pour in, nothing pours back. You pour in again. The silence is absolute, and still, you return every morning, before the janitor, before the buses, before the building has sound. There is a year when something breaks, not dramatically. Not in a single moment can you point to later and say, there, that was it. It is slower than that. It accumulates. It is the meeting where your idea is dismissed before you finish the sentence. It is the evaluation form where the box checked is meets expectations when you know with your whole body that you have exceeded every expectation you were given because the expectations were designed for people who stopped expecting anything from themselves. It is the night you sit in your car in the school parking lot at 6:45 in the evening and you cannot make yourself drive home and you cannot make yourself go back inside and you just sit there with the engine off while the lot empties around you. You question everything, not in a philosophical way, in a practical, granular, ugly way. Why this? Why here? Why still? You think about the version of your life you did not choose, the paths that did not require this much invisibility, the careers where people clap at the end, where the scoreboard exists and shows your name. Teaching has no scoreboard. The results live in other people's lives years from now, in forms you will never see. You are planting in soil you will never stand over. At harvest, you are writing letters you will never send to addresses you do not have yet. And sitting in that parking lot, in that silence, with that weight, you do not know if any of it is worth it. You do not know if you are reaching anyone. You do not know if the room full of indifferent faces is changed by your presence or completely unchanged. You do not know. That is the collapse. Not knowing, still going. Here is what you never see from inside a classroom. The student who would not look at you, and the one in the 3rd row who drew on the desk instead of writing in the notebook, is 23 years old now, sitting across from someone they love, and they are asking that person a question, a real question, the kind that requires genuine curiosity. The kind you modelled for them in a room they pretended to ignore. They do not know where that habit came from. You gave it to them anyway. The girl who failed your class is in her second year of university. She's struggling with a paper and she remembers not your face, not your name, but she remembers a specific moment when someone in a classroom did not give up on her paragraph, did not cross it out, but circled it and wrote, "This is the beginning of something real." She pushes through because of that circled sentence. She does not know it was you. You changed her anyway. This is the architecture of unwitnessed impact. It does not announce itself. It does not credit its source. It moves through lives like water moves through stone, slowly, completely, without permission. The mistake you have been making is measuring by what returns to you. Nothing returns to you. That is not the nature of what you do. You are not a transaction. You are not an investment that pays dividends back to the investor. You are something rarer and more structurally important than that. You are the kind of force that only shows its work in other people, in other decades, in rooms you will never enter. Stop measuring by what you can see. The evidence lives somewhere you are not. Now listen carefully, because this is where the narration stops being a story and becomes a demand. If you are the person in that room, the one unrewarded, the one uncelebrated, the one whose effort has been consistently underestimated by everyone who should know better, here is exactly what you need to do. Stop waiting for validation before you go deeper. Go deeper now before it comes, without it. That paper you half graded because your energy gave out at 9 in the evening. Finish it, not to prove something, because the incompleteness is eating at you and you know it, and the version of you that operates at full capacity does not leave things half done. Stop moderating your intensity because the room cannot match it. The room's inability to match your intensity is not a sign you should lower it. It is a sign you are operating at a level that takes time to reach the people around you. Do not shrink to fit the ceiling. The ceiling was set by people who ran out of reach. Find the 3 students who are almost there, not the ones who already are, not the ones who are nowhere near, the ones who are almost there, who are one real conversation, one specific comment, one question nobody has thought to ask them yet, away from something shifting permanently. Give those 3 everything. Disproportionate, unreasonable, specific attention. Write on their work in the margins. Ask the follow-up question after class. Remember what they said 2 weeks ago and bring it back when it matters. Do not spread yourself so thin that your presence becomes decorative. Go deep with the few and trust them to carry it forward. Protect your private intellectual life fiercely. You cannot give what you stop accumulating. Read the book that has nothing to do with your curriculum. Have the conversation that pushes your own thinking past where it is comfortable. Stay genuinely curious, not professionally curious, not performatively curious. Actually, privately, stubbornly curious. The students who are watching without looking will feel the difference between a teacher who is alive in their own mind and one who has stopped growing and is simply managing the decay. And finally, document nothing for the audience. Document for yourself. Write down what worked and why. Write down what failed and what the failure revealed. Build a body of knowledge that belongs to you, that no evaluation form will ever access, that you carry into every room you enter for the rest of your working life. This is not encouragement, this is an instruction. Do the work as if someone's entire future depends on whether you show up fully today, because it does. You just will not find out who someone is or what the future holds for a very long time. Most unsung heroes' motivation stories end with recognition. This one does not. This one ends with you going back, again, to the scratched desks, to the flickering light, to the room full of faces that have not yet learned to show you what you are giving them. Because recognition is not the point. It never was. The point is that somewhere, right now, there is a person building their life on a foundation they do not know you poured. There is someone brave enough to ask a hard question because you modelled bravery in a room where bravery looks like a poor career strategy. There is someone who chose not to quit because they internalized something from you that you delivered without fanfare, without applause, without any guarantee it would land. Thousands of them, moving through the world with a piece of you they cannot identify. That is not a consolation prize for the absence of recognition. That is the only thing that outlasts any of us. You go back to the room, you write the question on the board, you wait. You do not need them to look up to know the light is already on. The ceiling tile still flickers. You are still there.